Okay, let me start with something that's been on my mind since I heard this news. When you think about the world of professional sports, especially the NFL, it's easy to get caught up in the wins, the losses, the drama of the season. But behind every coach, every player, there's a deeply human story that often gets overlooked. That's what hit me when I learned about Cristina Ulbrich's passing. This isn't just about a coach's spouse. This is about how we, as fans, process the intersection of public personas and private grief. Let's unpack this. Jeff Ulbrich, the Falcons' defensive coordinator, is a name most football fans know. But here's what I'm thinking. How often do we reduce people like him to their job titles? We dissect their strategies, criticize their decisions, but rarely do we stop to consider the weight they carry off the field. The Falcons' statement called Cristina a constant source of love and support, which sounds like a cliché until you realize how much that support likely shaped Jeff's career. Think about it. When you're climbing the ladder in a hyper-competitive industry like the NFL, having a partner who's your anchor? That's not just nice to have. It's everything. Now, let's talk about the timing. This news broke right before training camp, a period where coaches are under immense pressure to perform. Jeff wasn't at the first practices, which tells me this family is in the thick of navigating unimaginable loss. But here's the thing that fascinates me. The NFL world often treats personal tragedy with a kind of stoic silence. Teams issue statements, players wear black armbands, and then everyone expects the show to go on. Is that respect for privacy, or is it avoidance? I'd argue it's a bit of both. The league's culture prioritizes resilience, but that can unintentionally erase the messy, complicated reality of grief. One detail that stood out: the couple met during Jeff's recruiting visit to the University of Hawaii in 1997. That's over 25 years of partnership. In an era where high-profile relationships often make headlines for drama, their longevity feels almost radical. It makes me wonder how many coaches' careers are quietly built on the foundation of a partner's unwavering support. We hear about the X's and O's, but who's talking about the emotional labor that goes into being the coach's wife? The article mentions 3 kids, Samantha, Jace, and Jace, but there's no mention of how they're coping. That silence speaks volumes about how we, as a society, handle tragedy in the spotlight. What this also highlights is the duality of sports communities. On one hand, the Falcons statement feels genuine, the kind of message that rallies a team around a shared sense of loss. On the other, there's an unspoken expectation that Jeff will eventually return to the team, as if grief has a deadline. This tension between empathy and performance is everywhere in sports. It's the same reason athletes struggle to speak openly about mental health or why coaches hesitate to take time away for family. The system is built to keep moving, but at what cost? Here's my bigger picture take. Stories like this force us to confront the humanity behind the helmets and headsets. When we see a coach on the sidelines, we're seeing just 10% of their story. The other 90%? Late-night hospital visits, balancing family needs with a grueling schedule, and yes, fighting battles we'll never hear about. Cristina's passing isn't just a footnote in Jeff's career. It's a reminder that the people we idolize or critique are, first and foremost, people. Flawed, resilient, grieving, and loving people. So what's next? Will Jeff take time away? Will the Falcons' defense struggle as he processes this loss? Those questions feel almost trivial now. What matters more is how this moment challenges us as fans. Can we hold space for the personal tragedies of those we follow without reducing them to pity cases? Can we celebrate the strength of a partner like Cristina without romanticizing the sacrifices she made? These aren't easy questions, but they're necessary. Because in the end, football is just a game. The stories we carry about love, loss, and resilience, those are what truly define us. What's your take? Do you think sports media and fans handle these kinds of tragedies with enough nuance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you reconcile rooting for a team with empathy for the humans behind the jersey. And if you found this perspective valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the stories we're not always talking about. Thanks for watching.